What's good, YouTube? Flan Speaks back, man. I just had to go ahead and stop and do this, man, because I was actually able to watch more of the games than I expected. The Fever as well as the Chicago game. But this is the thing, man, about the Fever right now. You're going to hear a lot of people out there talking about it's everyone's fault but Caitlin Clark's, right? And that the Fever actually playing, good basketball right now, but the teammates are bad. Kathy Sides. You're going to hear all that crap because though that particular fan base, they lack integrity. They're not honest people, and they're delusional. Like many of them don't even mean harm. They just don't. They don't really understand basketball, and they're delusional. Okay. Now listen, Chicago and Indiana, both teams were not great today at all. Okay. Both teams played teams that they were better than and made the games way harder than they needed to be. Now, Chicago was able to get out of there with a victory. I do respect the opponent Chicago played a little bit more than the opponent Indiana played, but still, I think what happens is Chicago came off of this road trip and played two games against a really tough Seattle team, and you could tell the difference between the energy they had against Seattle and the energy they had against the Mystics, because what happens is with teams like, or the Fever, the Atlanta Dream, right? With teams like that, it's hard to get your energy up. Same thing happened with the Fever. They play against the New York Liberty, all this energy and everything, right? And then they come out against the Mystics, a team they've beaten already, and they're getting smoked, in the beginning of the game, 26-17 and 25-20. I mean, at times they were down, 10, 15 points, all types of stuff, right? Now, but what I want to get at, man, the Chicago Sky, I'm going to show you evidence that the Chicago Sky are headed in the right direction. Even though they didn't play well, they got the win. They're headed in the right direction. The Indiana Fever are absolutely headed in the wrong direction. So much so that they may miss the playoffs. But on the flip side, Caitlin Clark may actually win the Rookie of the Year. I think there's a good chance Caitlin Clark will win the Rookie of the Year based off of her stats. And if they continue along this path, it's possible Caitlin Clark in the near future will win an MVP, maybe even two. But what she will not win is a championship. And there's a good chance that she won't even make the play. They won't, not her. They will not make the playoffs this year. This is what I'm thinking right now, and I'm gonna tell you why. Okay. There's a very, very important statistic that lets you know how well an offense is playing. First of all, we can go to the defense. The Indiana Fever, they suck on defense. Okay, they're the second to last best defense in the league. They played against an offense today that is like one of the worst offenses in the league. Okay. And then they lost to that team. But the Indiana Fever, out of 12 teams, they have the 11th worst defense. All right. And for large parts of the year, they were dead last. Okay. And now let's look at this here. Okay. And I want you to draw your attention to this here. Okay. This is the assist records. Okay. This is the assist numbers. Oh, my goodness. These are the team numbers. Okay, I just want you to focus on the assists. All right, this is the Indiana Fever against the Mystics. Right, they played horrible today, and look at that, 13 assists here, right here, for the one player. One player gets 13 assists. Right? Guess who that is? Caitlin Clark. Okay, 13 assists. All right, now who has the second most assists in this whole thing? Two assists. Right? No assists for. This is Aaliyah Boston. Okay. Lexi Hall gets 2 assists. Okay. There's no assists for Katie Lou Samuelson, the other starter. And then you got 2 assists for, who is that? Kelsey Mitchell. 13 assists for Caitlin Clark, which is great for her numbers, right? It's going to look like she's the most dominant player in the league. And then 1 assist for Alyssa Smith. Okay. Now, if you add that up, that is 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. That is 18 assists as a team, okay? Which is not a good number of assists, okay? Good teams in this league, the team leaders in this league are, if you look it up, by the numbers, I looked it up the other day. The team that leads the league in assists is Minnesota. and then you also have the Connecticut Sun. These are the top teams in assists, okay, and they usually average around 22 to 24 assists a game. Here you have 18 assists, and Caitlin Clark has 13 of them, so the other 5 assists are from the other teammates. All right, now just to show you how important team assists are, typically championship teams are top 5 in team assists. All right, so that's that. You got that there. Okay, the Mystics, by contrast, okay, you got 6 assists by one player, 3 assists by another, 3 by another, 2 by another, 4 by another, 3. Look at this here. This is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 assists versus 18 assists. Okay? So that right there is potential 10 points if they're scored on. Okay? And you see Dolson with 6. That's the center. And you got Hines with 3. Okay, Aaliyah Edwards with 4. The point is, these assists let you know that the ball's being moved. There's ball movement there, okay? As opposed to one player dominating the ball. All right, now let's go to Chicago. The Chicago Sky today, okay? The Chicago Sky today. Just want to show you this, okay? Well, that's the dream, okay? Chicago Sky won their game. Look at that. Look at the assist numbers. Just look at the assists. Okay? You got 5 assists by Marina Mabrey. You got another 5 by Kennedy Carter. Okay? So you got Mabrey with 5, Carter with 5. Okay? That's 10 assists right there between between 2 players. Then you got 3 and 3. Okay? 3 by that's Dana Evans and then Lindsay Allen. And then you got 2 by a bench player, Onion Ware, who played pretty good. Michaela, who gave us 7 points. All right, all together that's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That's 22 assists as a team. You see? 22 assists as a team. The losing team today, the Dream, look at that. 3, 6, 3, 4, 3, 6. They have 19 assists, better than the damn Fever, but the point is, the Chicago Sky, as I've noticed, they're playing a game where you're sharing the ball. This tells you the ball's being shared. 5 assists, 2 assists, 3 assists, 3 assists. They're sharing the assists. And this is something that I've noticed through looking at teams. Okay? The Chicago Bulls of the 90s, if you look them up, they always, every year they won a championship, they were top 5 in team assists around the league. Around the league. The San Antonio Spurs under Popovich during their 5 championship runs were typically number 1 or number 2. Okay? By contrast, LeBron James, okay? LeBron James with his 4 titles. Do you know that only one team LeBron James was ever on finished top 5 in assists? He's an anomaly. Okay? Well, some say this is a good argument for him. Some say it's bad. For me, it's bad. Because what it tells you is you have a player that can't fit into a system but needs the whole team and everyone else to change their game for them. And this is what you got going on with the Indiana Fever. I don't know if it's Christy Size just compromising with Caitlin Clark. I don't know if Caitlin Clark kind of cried her way into getting her way. But I'm telling you, I was not impressed with the game against the Liberty. I feel like the Liberty actually just lost that game. And this game was horrible. Horrible. I don't care about they almost came back and won. I don't care about the numbers that Caitlin Clark had, 27 or whatever it was, 29 or 30. I don't know what her damn numbers were. But I was not impressed with that at all. What I want to see is her learn to inculcate herself into the system, into the team. Then I will be impressed. As I'm telling you, this, though, it's going to, have her, she keeps doing that. Hey, look, she'll win Rookie of the Year. She'll win MVP, hell. But what they won't do is go to the playoffs. Hey, I could be wrong, but this is what I believe. Caitlin Clark right now in the Fever, what they're playing is 2015 Houston Rockets ball with James Harden. Like I've said before, many people say, Steph Curry. Many people say, no. Caitlin Clark's biggest comp is James Harden. It's James Harden during his MVP years. Though she's not as good as he is, but during his MVP years, it's the same style. Okay, step back three, get to the rim, but not at an elite level, but try to get to the rim here and there. No mid-range game. Get fouled, get to the foul line. Everybody else plays off of them. And you're forcing a number one pick in Aaliyah Boston. She may just have, Aaliyah could have just had a bad game today. I don't know. It looks like she was sad for a large portion of the game. I don't really know what happened. I gotta look back at it. But you're forcing a player with the skills of Aaliyah Boston and skills of a Kelsey Mitchell to just take a back seat and just wait for a pass from Clark or, do everything around her. And I'm just telling you, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. And this is why I don't believe in the Fever. Number one, they don't play defense. And then number two, they build everything around one player who, if you want to build around a player, and for me, I'll give my critique on why LeBron James is not Michael Jordan as well. And that's a big part of the reason is because LeBron James doesn't play in a system. In a system that he plays, it ultimately fails. Whenever he goes up against teams that play team ball, this is why he always had trouble with the Warriors. This is why he always had trouble with the Spurs. Okay, Spurs are never, like their point guard Tony Parker never averaged 10 assists, never averaged 11-9. He would average around 5 or 6. Then the shooting guard would average about 4 or 5. Then one of the forwards would average about 4 or 5. And Tim Duncan himself might average 3 or 4. This is the way they always spread it around. And that style of ball is superior to the style where one person is getting all these assists. Unless you're Magic Johnson and you're 6'9" and you can kind of impose your will. Or if you're LeBron James, LeBron only averages about 7 assists for his career. But even LeBron James, he can get away with the LeBron James system because of his size and ability to enforce his will on the team he's playing against. But it still doesn't work when he matches equal talent in a system that that shares the ball. But pretty much that's all I had today, man. I'm going to give a more thorough breakdown, especially of the Chicago game. But this is why I don't believe in the Indiana Fever and what they're doing. Peace out.